Sorry, I am late by 3 minutes. I am so sorry. Family issues, but it's sorted now. Everyone's fine. So I can start this hopefully without any interruptions. I will just crack on because I'm the first one here and we're already minutes in, and I don't intend to go on this time for too long, especially without any questions or anything like that could delay me. Today, I just wanted to share, I'll just show you quickly the comments area. So let's look at the comments, some comment box to give you an idea before I started. Where is it? I was posting some things in there, but I'll just share my screen because you've actually come for some vital information. I'll start sharing my screen and hopefully you see me at the same time. Let me confirm that you can hear me. So, oh no, okay, sorry. So you, and that will be mute microphone. Okay, so I'm going to share right now, and basically I've asked some questions. So do look at the comment box. I can't see the comments right now, but I suppose you can. Let me confirm something here. I might be able to see it here. No, over there. So yes, I'd shared a few things, and you've got to the right. Yes, group chat. So put in any information you want there, any questions you have. But I want to take you on a screen sharing expedition. So I'm going to start now. Okay, so this is where I want to take you first. At the weekend, I had some question and answer sections. The questions are still coming in. So you take yourself to this link here. I may put it in at the bottom of the video. If not, you can click from here and look for me in this place. I'll just click here. You're looking for me. Oh, how'd you find me? Let me see. There you go. You got my details there. Rejoice Oboya. So see where my cursor is, and it tells you a little bit more about myself. Where you can find me on social media, following the cursor. You've got the question and answers all the way down. 47 will include my answers as well. So there's one that came in while I was setting up, so I've not had time to answer that. But maybe I might just answer it now while we're here, maybe waiting for one or two people to join. How can one start managing one's paycheck enough to save if it's impossible to survive between one paycheck and the next? I've heard that question so many times, especially when I was networking with network marketing companies, and it's a valid question, but sometimes it's also an excuse. If you're living from paycheck to paycheck, how can you not try and survive? How can you not try and create an extra income? So you can see my screen now, so I'm talking so I can focus on answering. You can see my answer. Is that responding for a cross? Well, it's not gone red. It's vitally important if you're living from paycheck to paycheck to manage your money. Because if you don't, when does it end? Do you get a better job? Do you go out and get a second job? What do you do? I have mentioned since the weekend Ecclesiastes 11:2. Ecclesiastes is in the Bible if you're not familiar, and it says that we need about 8 sources of income. So your paycheck is one. The reason why you're struggling is you need 7 more, because out of the 8, 1 or 2 may fail you. The others may work. Even you might find all 5 or 6 may fail you. One might be working really well to cover for the rest while they're in a, so to speak. So what you can do, let me type that in so that I can submit the answer. Okay, so there's my answer of this person. Hopefully the person will find it valuable. That also brings me back to what I wanted to say. Let me just get my train of thought right up here. That's wrong. This is what you need, this link. Okay, so the question was how, excuse me, how can one start managing one's paycheck enough to save if it's impossible to survive between one paycheck and the next? Now, that is a valid question. It's not to be discounted at all. That is not my intention. But is it an excuse? Is it a cop-out? Are there things that can be done? So my answer is hi there. It's a valid question and one I've come across so many times. And the answers I've heard have all come down to this one point. How can you not start managing your money? What can you see? What you can do? What can you? So you don't talk and type. That's not the kind of multitasking women are good at. What can you do? Excuse me. what you what what you can do, I think, is what I was going to say. What you can do is to take a close look at your incomings and outgoings and make changes. So that's something they can do right now. That doesn't cost money to do that. It's probably painstaking, but it's important to do. It gives you a clear picture of what's coming in and what's going on, and you'll be amazed. You might find what is coming out is a lot more than what's coming in. That's why you're struggling. Maybe there are things you can do away with. Maybe you might think they're important, but really, if you want to balance it on the scheme of things, the things you're spending and coughing out for, those luxury items and so forth, really need them now. Can you forgo them so that that money can be put towards investing and saving for your future, where you can actually afford these things? It's amazing how people with limited resources and income will go for the bigger house, bigger car, and the people who actually have the money, who can afford to pay outright for a house, would not go for the biggest and best house or car. We need to start thinking differently. So that brings me to the point I was going to focus on today: our money mindset. Why do you think the way you do about money? And it definitely in your childhood? Isn't it about time that you address it? You take a careful look at the way you think and see how it's been hindering you, and change it so that from this time forward and just move on successfully. So I said here, something about what you can do is to take a close look and outgoings and make changes. Can you downsize your home and car? Can you do without some other weekly or monthly expenditure? What is stopping you getting an extra income stream? So that's a question. So I'll put a question mark there. Maybe I should put that ecclesiastics in there so they can have a close understanding. You don't have to go out and get a second job. It's about being savvy, wise, go online, be an affiliate, join an organization, something that you believe in. Can you help people save money? Is there something online that can you help people manage their income? What is it you can do? Do you want to sell perfumes? Are there people around you who really love perfume? Coffee? What is it you can go on? But these things may cost you paying for a package to start. But this one I'm showing you now, you're not going to have to pay to sign up. But the training and the resources in there will help you to start generating an extra income. But you need to commit yourself. You need to be disciplined. You need to work towards it. You need to take action, and it needs to be consistent. Sign up for this one free. So sign up for this one free. So I'm going to put the question mark. There you go. What is stopping you getting an extra income stream? Ecclesiastes 11:12. So that's a reference. Sign up for this one free and commit yourself to building the business aspect if you really cannot buy the cheapest product here. Okay. So this is a business. So what's an extra income? So you can sign up for an extra income here. Okay. So hope that makes sense. If not, they can come back to me again with a question for clarification. So yes, you go through all these. There were lots, and if you notice now, it was 47. It's probably about 48 now. Yeah, there you go. So I've answered questions as they came in since Saturday. I answered some before it went live, and after it went live, because of the time difference, some of them seem to be, when I look at it, it was like 6:25 a.m. In some cases, up praying. I'm not on computer looking around to answer, so I answered in my own time, and our time difference also could be there, maybe in Spain, and I'm here in the UK. All right, so you can just keep going, scroll down, see all the questions. This will be online up until, I think, Friday. It's not likely to stay up until Saturday, and today is the 16th of July. So 7 days from Saturday, 14th, when this went live. So do come back here. If you're looking at the video, then you can pause to read questions as you keep going down to see my answers. Yeah. Anyway, so that's that. Now I close that down, and someone asked a question, so I opened that, but that's not where we're going to focus. This is where I'd like you to go. That free account I was talking about. Now, if you're struggling, this is the way to come. And it's, as I corrected it before, That's the correct. There you go. That's the correct one. That's the correct one. So when you come, it's going to have two boxes. One says become an affiliate. The other one is become a customer. The customer, obviously, if you have money to purchase gold right now, and gold is God's money. Gold is not something that will go out of value. It's not like currency that can be devalued. So it's very important that if you want to build a residual income, that you get yourself some gold. Yeah. So not give you. Oh, sorry. That because of that, sorry, I didn't know that would happen. So let's have a screen up. So that's not what I wanted to talk about today. What I wanted to focus on is your financial understanding. I might have to open the page I had up before if I can find it. Financial freedom. So that's my webpage. I was going to look at do an exercise with people who are why are you here? Give me your reasons. Why are you here? What are your thoughts about money? Save money. Do you feel you have enough money? Do you think your job is enough for you and your family? If you were to lose your job, I've asked this before, 3 months down the line, will you and your family be able to maintain the same lifestyle you had before you lost your job? Valid questions. That Ecclesiastes 11:2, I'd like us to read it together because serious business. And a matter of, oh, I'm not religious, so this doesn't matter to me. It's like the law of gravity. It matters to you, whether or not you not. So let's go over there and read it ourselves. And let me find is standard English or something like that. There you go. So this will give me a wide variety of, I like King James, the Old English, but this will give us other versions that can clarify it to you, however you read it. So give a portion to 7, English Standard Version, or even to 8. For you know not what disaster may happen on earth. So there you go. Losing your job, one would consider to be a disaster. So if you just have one job, can you see how that's going to be difficult for you? If you lost it, that's it, you're done for. But if you have your money divided into 8 investments, Good News Translation, put your investment, put in several places, many places even, because you never know what kind of bad luck you are going to have in this world. There you go. As I normally would answer, maybe if it's a tweet or something I'm responding to posts made, I'll just say word. That's it. You can't add or take away from it. You don't know. Everyone, it happens to everyone. There are good seasons in your life, there are bad seasons. Everyone goes through the spell where things are great and wonderful, and oh, you're floating on a cloud of fluffy white cloud. You're in cloud 9, you and your family, everything is great. And then there are times where it's like, wow, you've hit the ground so fast, you don't know what happened. So you need to have this backup, because the Bible also says money answereth all things. So this is my understanding. I obviously have developed a positive relationship with money, but I was going to ask some things. I'm seeing there's no one right now to communicate with. Maybe people on the way back from work, or the notice was too short. I will just continue, but you will have to answer this yourself. It should have been interactive. So I'd like to do this money association exercise with you, and you tell yourself, you give an answer, you complete the sentence, and you will discover from your answers why you answered like that and your relationship with money, and understand why you are where you are because of how your mindset is in relation to money, if that makes sense. So the exercise, the association exercise, let's start with 1. I've got a few questions here. So one is money is, what would you end that with? Dash, dash. Money is what to you? Money is second question, second statement. Money is dash, dash, dash. Answer that as well. It's not a mistake. One is money is what? Money is number two. What is that also to you? Dash, dash, dash. Three, money is dash, dash, dash. So one, two, three. It starts with money is. You're to complete one, two, three times. What your answer will be will determine your mindset in relation to money. And you do need to be completely honest with yourself, because that's the only way to get the right help, the success you're looking for, by being completely transparent. 4, wealth is what? How's your thoughts? What's your thoughts on wealth? How would you conclude that sentence? Wealth is what? Then 5, wealth is, again, what's your answer? Would you say wealth is horrible? Wealth is terrible? Wealth is only for a few? What's your answer? 6, rich people are what? Evil, conniving, devious, snobbish? What would your answer be? Rich people are. Okay, the 7th question, rich people are, or rich seventh statement, rich people are, what are they to you? Are they an inspiration to you? You answer it yourself. Now, I've got a few more of these questions. Statements. Okay, that's 7 so far I gave you. Now, I've got a few questions now. Ask yourself, now write it down and answer it. The reasons I can't or may not become extremely wealthy are, now list them. And the list should be several, not one or two. Just start pouring it out as it comes. The reasons I can't or may not become extremely wealthy are. So what are those things that you feel may hold you back? 9, some of the possible negatives about being rich or going through the process of trying to get rich are. Now, answer this, because only you can answer it truthfully to propel you forward. Once you overcome this hurdle, you'll be able to move on to the next one and overcome that one. Now, the third one, or we'll call it 10, my greatest worries and fears regarding money and wealth are. So, what's your worries? What's your fear? I'll give a little example here. When I first answered this question, I said my worry would be, and I listed several. These ones I've mentioned so far, these questions, you do need to list several so that you can have a true outline of what your reasoning is, what your mindset is, and work towards changing it. Now, my answer to my greatest worries and fear regarding money and wealth are, it might make me proud. I really had a fear, and I didn't know that until I tackled this question. I thought it made me proud, arrogant, snobbish. I thought it would cause me to lose friends and family. So family, if you're on now, that was a real big fear for me when you listen to this, because I am aware that some will be listening to it in the future, the recording of this. I thought it caused me to lose friends and family, not so much because I left them behind on purpose, but because I found great opportunities. I decided to work on my mindset, and I decided to build wealth left, right, and center, have these 8 investments Ecclesiastes told us about, and I became successful. And then they resent me for it because they didn't suffer, they didn't enjoy the same success. But this is why, family, I've been chasing you, and now I'm kind of like holding back, because everyone needs to get to the place where they feel, you know, enough. I'm sick and tired of being where I am. I need to move forward. If you're not at that point, there's no amount of convincing. So fortunately, I've got this evidence. This is going to remain as long as YouTube is on. This video will continue, and it will confirm that this was a real fear, because family to feel that I left them behind and then I lose them and friends. So when I speak to you, friends and family who will later on listen to this recording, it's because I had a fear that I might lose you when I become wealthy. I don't want to lose you. I want to take you along, because there's no point in me being wealthy on my own. We can do greater good worldwide if we're all wealthy together. Because what's the point of having wealth just for yourself and your immediate family? You're meant to spread it. You're meant to be used by God to bless other people, to be charitable, to make sure others around you are benefiting, so that when everyone else is comfortable and buoyant, nobody needs to be envious and jealous of anyone else. So this is more like a plea as well. When you see this, when you see my links, don't ignore it and think, oh, you know what, she's come again. I'm trying to help you here. I'm trying to uh, let you see that mediocre doesn't have to be where you stay and remain. You don't need to live from paycheck to paycheck. You don't need to have a little bit over and just be content and being happy with a little bit over. You have a responsibility to be able to look after other people who are in desperate need, maybe in the third world. So you can't just be content with me, my family, and because my spouse and children are fine, that's okay. That's a selfish mentality, especially for us who are believers. Our purpose is so much more bigger than ourselves. So that was a real fear. I didn't want to lose friends and family. I thought once I get wealthy, they're going to be jealous and envious and think I was selfish with information and hid knowledge and just wanted to be rich by myself. That was never my intention, but it was a big fear for me. And finally, the biggest fear was I might get too big for my boots, that I might miss heaven, because I remember that scripture that says it's impossible for a rich man to go through an eye of the needle. It's more, a rich man might be able to go through, it's impossible, yeah, for a rich man to go through the eye of a needle, just like getting into heaven. The quote is, you know what, I find that quote now. Something about rich man going through the eye of the needle. For a long time, I thought, oh, rich people are not going to heaven. I do not want to be rich and miss heaven. So because I had that in my subconscious, I drew myself unknowingly rich man and eye of needle. I love Google. So there you go. We see it for ourselves. It's in, we need to get that scripture. Matthew 19:23 to 26. Matthew 19. Or in Mark 2, Mark 10, 25. It's easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle. Well, we know how big a camel is. So that was a real fear for me. So I didn't want to be wealthy because of that. So ask yourself, my greatest worries and fears regarding money and wealth are, and list them. I've listed mine to you. I've been open and honest to you. Be open and honest to yourself. The worst thing about money is, what's the worst thing about money? And I'll answer this one as well. My answer at the time was possible isolation, and that's based on the previous question. If it makes me proud, lose friends and family, okay, when I die, I miss heaven. So while I'm still alive, and God forbid I'm not missing heaven because of money or anything, but I am going to be extremely wealthy. Note that today. The worst thing about money is possible isolation. I thought I'm going to be isolated, no friends, no family, other than my husband and children, of course. And I love people. I want to be around people. I don't want to be isolated. And I want all the people around me, all the people I come in contact with, friends, family, acquaintances, neighbors, to do well. If you're willing and obedient, the Bible says you will eat the good of the land. If you're not willing and obedient, just as God Almighty cannot force his will on you, who am I? I can't force my will, but I let go of all these self-limiting beliefs, because I know becoming wealthy will not make me proud, because I've heard it so many times and I've seen it so many times. Being wealthy will only make me much more of who I already am, which is friendly, sociable, God-fearing, loving, generous. I will still be the same me. If I were the opposite, that would be amplified, being wealthy. So no need to worry about that. Losing friends and family, even though some friends and family, and you know who you are listening to the recording, have completely ignored my links, my calls, my texts to come look at this thing, to come to the events in London, around us where we are in Croydon. I I have made every effort, even though I've tried all that, and they're aware I've tried all that. Oh, sorry, the fact that and I've tried all that and they're ignoring me, but I keep trying, I won't be isolated because they will know, you will know specifically that, look, she did all she could. It's my own fault. So everyone should take responsibility for their own actions. So it's not a worry anymore. I'm not going to be isolated because I'm just going to be more of myself. So we move on from that one. I'm going to round up shortly because it's just me on here and the purpose was for it to be interactive. Let me see if I can find something here that was going to add. All right, yes, this is what I'm going to summarize with. What it all boils down to is your thinking, your mentality is what is holding you back from success. If anyone has made it in life, it's because they let go of self-limiting beliefs. They decided to believe in themselves. They decided to have a positive view of being wealthy and rich and not take on negative views and keep those ones that we heard growing up in, oh, rich people are this, that, and the other negative things we heard. Well, some of us have come in contact with quite a few rich people and they're not all like that. So that's just what do we call it, tying everyone with the same brush, for want of a better word. That's just not true. Just like how people will make sweeping statements about one race or the other, certainly not true. So you need to understand your beliefs are so powerful, they will hold you back or propel you forward, whichever they are, negative or positive. So you need to work on your thinking. What am I doing that will make me successful? What am I not doing that will make me fail? So what do I need to change? What part of my thinking needs to be renewed? The Bible tells us to be transformed by the renewing of our mind. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So you need to watch what you're thinking so that you will be transformed. So your beliefs and thoughts that you hold, are they true or false? You decide that for yourself. So if your beliefs are not true or false, right or wrong, uh, are they only strong opinions? So we don't see the world as it is, we see the world as we are. So sometimes, or generally, we tend to look at things the way we are. And it's something my husband used to say a lot when we were first married. Stop looking at people and treating people as if they were you. And I'm so open and honest, and I didn't understand why people were the opposite. For some reason, as a young adult wife, I couldn't understand. I grew up with it, so I don't know why I was surprised about it. I must have met it in school and on the playground, in the streets all around me. But for some reason, when I was interacting with people who I was close to, I didn't understand why their thinking was way off somewhere. But the thing is, we don't see the world as it is. We see the world as we are. This is something that is so profound. It would just help you in understanding people. I promise you, if you do these exercises and you work on improving yourself and just ask God to help you, you are going, this is going to be such a great session. It's just like you've had the best therapy session there is. Beliefs can be empowering. You need to understand that. Or they could be what? What do you think they could be? The opposite of empowering? You decide for yourself. To identify your beliefs, simply look at your life. Your life will tell you what you believe. You can try and convince me or anyone else until you're blue in the face, but your life, your reality will tell you what belief system you're laboring under. So you will always do something or not do something in accordance with your predominant beliefs, and those actions create your what. See, if you were on now, we could have been interactive. So I'm not going to make this easy for you. I'd like you to work for the information. I'd like you to understand it. I'd like you to be transformed. I'm not sitting here because I have nothing better to do. I really want to help people, but people need to help themselves. So I'm going to leave you with a quote. Whether you believe you can or you can't, you're right. Henry Ford. So please repeat after me. Whether I believe I can or I can't, I am right. Henry Ford said that. So you'll see it when you do what you decide. So you'll see exactly what the reality of this quote when you decide to take the action you should have taken. So thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it. You'll be getting this in a recording, so that's great. But it would have been better if you had come on board. I'm going to leave some links at the bottom of this video. Don't forget to subscribe and don't forget to share it as well. Do take action. If you do take action, then we can even go more in depth there, because those who actually take action deserve more of my time and more of my help. The thing is, it's going to be a two-way streak. I'm not going to do all the work while you sit back and wait for handouts. That's not how this is going to work. And another thing is, if you live in UK, England, you live in the London, Surrey area, you can come to the Croydon event next Monday. So you've got ample notice. It's about a week now, and it starts at 6:15 for affiliate training. If you sign up now and register as an affiliate, the button I showed you, when you follow that carrot bar link /.com/?S equals Lima November I, India, LNI, then you click on it, it will give you the affiliate /customer or customer. If you can afford to purchase anything, you click on customer. Obviously, if you want to start building a business, you start with the affiliate and go through all the training, do exactly what you're instructed to do. You have any problems, you go to support. But if you can come for training, you can make yourself available. It will be so worth your while. But you do need to work on your belief system. If you don't work on your belief system and discover the reason for why you are where you are right now, why you're experiencing what you're experiencing right now, nothing's going to change. If you want something to change, if you want transformation, you want an easy, affordable savings strategy, you need to go to that link, because that's going to help you. And before I go, actually, I should deal with that quickly. I don't know why I even titled the easy, affordable sharing strategy, because I was only going to show a little bit about that. This link is about buying gold, because I shared on Facebook, and you can find it on YouTube as well. So if you have a Facebook account, that's not a problem. Something about black racist banking. Type in racist banking in Google and you will see it. And there was such a response to it. It was unbelievable. And people are enraged. It's not just the racist aspect, it's the fact that banks are not working in your best interest as we were made or we were led to believe. So you have savings. That's great. Keep having savings. But why don't you allocate a portion of those savings to gold? Because gold will appreciate in value. I said it at the start. So it does cover the topic, easy, affordable saving strategy. And you can start buying gold for under £10 at the minute as I speak. But the thing is, it will go up in price the longer you delay. And it's going up in price because those of us who bought it were expecting it to go up in price, so we can reap the benefit of the price rise, because gold will appreciate over time, a currency will not. I was ranting and raving sometime. I do it at home. I ranted at the last meeting that I've just invited you to, excuse me. And I can't understand why Snicker bars. I love my Snicker bars. They used to be this big. They're the length of my finger now. They used to be a good size. You have it with a cup of coffee, you're full for a few hours. Now, things like that, you're thinking, what on earth is this? And it's more expensive. So we know money depreciates in value. We know banks close down and take your money with them. Look what happened with Northern Rock. So please be wise. Set up your account. It's a free account. Click on the affiliate or the customer if you can. Buy your gold, buy a package, whatever you can afford. If you can't afford a package for gold or or for silver, just buy the cash coins. It's under £10. It's barely £7 at the time of speaking. Buy it and save it and watch it appreciate in value. When you get a certain number, you could decide, have it, send it to me, send it to my house, or you keep it for me in safe custody. These people who set up carrot bars, you have all the information in the back office and you can search them. They're out of debt. They owe no one. They have no loans anywhere. So they're a sound company and they've got a secure unit and obviously insured to protect everyone's gold that will be kept there if that's what you want to do. But don't let your misconceptions and your lack of understanding deter you, because there's a quote I shared from Richard Branson, and I'll put that under here where I say join our awesome community. You can go there after this recording and check it out. It says, if someone presents you with an opportunity, that's me, and you don't fully understand it, say yes first and learn it as you go along. It's like a job. I tell people, and especially I try not to get irritated, because when you're speaking to adults, sometimes you begin to wonder, it's common sense really when they no, I need to understand it now. You can't understand everything. All you need to understand is that gold appreciates in value. Gold is God's money, God's currency. It came from the earth. It will never depreciate in value. That's all you need to understand, enough to go register, and it's free. So what will it cost you? Register and go through the training, understand, ask your questions. But where you want me, who is still learning, because I don't fully understand it myself, but I follow Richard Branson's train of thinking because I'm improving my mindset. I don't need to fully understand before I see an opportunity and grab it. All I need to know is that it's productive. All I need to know is that one source of income is not enough for me. 2, 3, 4 sources of income is not enough for me. I need to have up to 8 sources of income, and so do you. So go sign up, go learn and get the information. Because as I tell people, going back to the analogy I was going to give, when you start a job or when you start your degree, on day one of the job or the degree, do you know everything? No, you don't. By the end of the month, you know a lot more than day one. By the end of the term or by the end of your training, your probation, you know a lot more. By the time you've finished your degree or you've been in the job a few years, you know a lot more than you knew at the end of probation, at the end of the term. So please change that mindset. Until I understand everything, I'm not entering. Good luck to you. That's all I can say. Thank you so much for coming on. I really want you to succeed, but you need to want it a lot more than I want it for you. So follow the links, take action, and hopefully see you next week. Any changes, you'll find it here. And apologies again for coming on late, but having said that, I'm the only one on this one, so I was early. Thank you. Take care. Bye.